Hello everyone and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson. I'm channeling the man in the moon today. I want to take a look at the Bragg case. As you might have known, I read on it a while ago. I was a little bit frustrated with Bragg, so it might be that my own feelings kind of got in the way of the channel. Maybe there's more to the story. One image that I keep having as I reflect on that video is I kept seeing this building, and it occurs to me that Bragg was just building his case. So if I made a mistake here, I am sorry to you, Mr. Bragg, but we'll find out. Okay. So I'm seeing Bragg here, and he's looking a little bit cagey. He's kind of looking to his left and his right. And then he's kind of smiling at me like, yeah, um, you were a little harsh on me, Dave. That's a little bit of his um, impression. But he seems to say, I had to be sneaky. There was something going on here that I couldn't make public. There's more to the story than you know. There's a lot of avenues here. There are so many avenues that you cannot understand, even when you're in the middle of it. It's difficult to see which case should come first, what should be, what should be the charges. There's just so much material. It's like you know the criminal, they're implicated in a lot of law breaking, but you have to specifically find the law that is broken. In principle, Trump not supposed to be able to say he won the election when he lost. That's he signed a agreement with the American people that he would uphold our Constitution, and that is not upholding our Constitution. But there's no specific law that he broke. There's no in a book. You cannot say that. It's typical of any mafioso, right? So it's not so simple as the public would like to have it be, and the media is presenting it in these simple terms, and it's not like that. So again, the building, he's like, I was building the case. That is accurate. I was building this case. And there's a final, it's almost like we had to put the roof on. So we had to stop for a little while. Maybe if there are seasonal changes in building our building. And then we had to put this roof on. It was like that. It was like there was something else going on, some other rationale, some other reasons why we had to shift things into place. It's like here's the roof, which is pointed, and it's not really on the center. And we had to like get some machinery, move to the center, and now we're putting the nails in to secure the building. And it gets down to that. It's down to the nails. All right. So, all right. Now he's showing me Stormy Daniels, and he's really trying to say it's really hard because there's this public thing. The public see these women, and they're distractingly attractive, and all it becomes to this sort of almost like silly story for comedians. And that's not the story. This is a serious law experience, but the silliness, it just takes all the air out of what we're trying to do, because this is serious. It is a simple and serious case, and it's really hard to be this serious when the case involves, the principal witnesses are, call girls who are going to go on late night TV. No, it's just not the same as a normal case. But she wants us to know that Stormy Daniels is showing that she was threatened. She shows us a person with a knife, and she says, "Yes, that really did happen to me." And it's that is like a thing for her. It's a thing for, I mean, a lot of people. Other people have been threatened in this way, and it's important that we let people know that this goes on. That people aren't just paid off; they're also threatened. And she said, I was frightened. It wasn't just a whatever. I was scared. I was there with my child in the car. I was afraid for my own life. I didn't choose the money just because I wanted the money. I did it because I was afraid. And this is important. It's important to expose this. It's important that we get beyond her, career, and go to, the human being who is experiencing a threat. So, Miss Bragg, can you tell us what were the other, what were the other charges? There's a lot of charges. He's like 16 charges. There are just tons of these charges, and they're all about, they're all just so varied. Okay, yes, there's a fly in here. Sorry. So he says there's 15 of them, and one of them has to do with cash. And I see gold bars, and gold bars. They're just there was some money crime. Trump is hiding it. Look, I mean, it's pretty straightforward here. I mean, he did two things. There's the crime of the bribe, and then the crime of covering up the bribe, right? Now you keep in mind the bribe is a little ambiguous. You have to prove that Trump did it with a particular intention, that is, to deceive the American public, as opposed to deceiving his wife. And that's what happened to John Edwards, and they let him off. It's a little bit ambiguous. I mean, again, I don't personally think this is fair, but I don't think people should be able to pay bribes. But it's just harder to prove. The money is easier to prove. And that's where Bragg comes in. He takes a spear and puts it in the ground. He goes, that's where we hit the mark. That's what's going to bring Trump down. So is Trump going to is he going to get convicted of a felony? Yes. And it's kind of like one, maybe more. And it's the money one because it can be easily proven. So again, this is a felony. Lightning strikes. Now, usually when I get a yes, it's like this, like a straight white line. But it's a little bit zigzaggy. It's a little bit not. It's not maybe necessarily what we think. So it may not be the money that I'm speaking of. It somewhat seems to be indirect, and there are a bunch of counts. One of them is the bribe. One of them is threatening someone. One of them is money. So is it the threat? Is that what'll bring him down? The actual physical threat? Well, I'm getting that it will have impact, that it will make a difference. So once more, is it going to be the threat? Not entirely clear. I don't see the straight line. I see kind of like a field of rain. Not sure what that means. But it's almost like Rainmaker. This will bring people maybe to the other charges. Um, they may not necessarily believe, 100% believe all the people I believe Stormy. But and the other lady, McDougal, but it's the money. Follow the money. So will Trump be convicted? Yes. It will be not on all the charges, but I do see a handcuff on his wrist. Will it be a felony? I get a yes. I'm almost like getting the feeling of like a felony and some misdemeanors. Not everything, but one's enough. It's not enough to jail him, but it like he leaves the jail. So Trump's got, they've got him there being booked, and I know that he was already booked, but they've got this, on his wrist, and then they take that off. But as he goes and he leaves, he is being followed. It's almost like he has to, he can't leave his home or something like this. and they're serious. They want to keep their eye on him. They don't believe, Trump could do anything, so they need to keep their eye on him. This is like not just part of the rules. It's not just that the judge is making a decision. This is a coordinated decision because they believe Trump to be a dangerous person. And now they have the legal right to keep their eye on him. And that's what the punishment's going to be. But it's not going to be the worst punishment. The worst punishment is that Trump is going to be humiliated. Trump is embarrassed. They're going to go through the details of his sex life. They're going to, show how he paid for sex. No, I mean, that's embarrassing to any person. And I don't think that Trump is accepted. There isn't going to be the rally of people supporting Trump that he is expecting. There are going to be a lot of people who don't like him, and that's, you know, somewhat thrilling to a narcissist, but at the same time, the fact that nobody supports you is the opposite. It's going to affect him in a greater way than he and everybody realizes. Just the psychological sort of disappointment that means that he's being prosecuted is pretty wrenching for them. And the fact that he would get convicted about anything, it's not helping him. It's a witch hunt. This is a jury and they have convicted him. Again, he has, lost a battle, and this time it's about him personally and his personal affairs. So this will not go well for Donald Trump. Again, we have to give more credit to Bragg than I certainly was giving to him. Anything else you want to tell me, Mr. Bragg? He's kind of winking, and he's saying, look, don't judge these cases until you see them. Don't judge us until you see them. It has to be that, some of this information comes out in a particular way at a particular time. Don't be so impatient. He's like, you gotta understand why people are impatient. He also wants to say, like, a new society awaits us. Once we go through these really difficult confrontations, it's like a new world. It's like the world opens up and we see everything under the sunlight. It's a new world. So he is wanting us to be, somewhat hopeful and patient and understand that there's a reason we're going through this. All right. Okay. Thank Mr. Bragg. If you are interested in readings, just check out my website. I do a whole host of different kinds of work. And also, if you get a chance, take a look at the V group on Facebook. They're doing some really interesting work. I'm working with them to talk to light beings out there in the universe. I'll also put a link to my new channel below, which is a little bit more trance channeling and less political channel. Thanks so much for watching.